Hello and welcome back to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas.
And I'm your host, Garrett's Work.
And we went to a really dumb pizza buffet today.
Hey, don't you call that place dumb. It was terrible, not dumb.
We got like whiplash from going to Mastro's last time, one of the nicest restaurants you can go to. We followed it up with Shakey's, and you had to make kind of an ass of yourself, which we'll get into quite a bit.
You say ass, I say deep stretch.
Sure. Dumb. This is already off to a great start. For those of you listening for the first time, this is the show where we are looking for the perfect 5.00 out of 10, that perfectly mediocre restaurant experience. And we're doing it based on a restaurant's atmosphere,
based on the restaurant's service,
and of course, based on their food.
Yum.
Gotta do all three of the things just so you can have a well-rounded evaluation of what these places have to offer. We're trying to find you the litmus test against which you can measure all other restaurants. Currently, it's the Applebee's test, sitting at a 5.02 out of 10.
Yeah, square in the zone of mediocrity. That 4 to 6 range that we're trying to put every single restaurant into. In theory, except for Mastro's, we needed a break.
We needed some good food for one time. Today, we have a guest with us, Zeus Benitez. He's an actor. You can see him on Amazon in the movie BabyGirl.
Be aware of the content of the film because it is a little dark.
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
I'm surprised you still wanted to spend time with us after having to go to Shakey's with us.
The two of you guys had so much secondhand embarrassment. It was great.
Yeah, let's talk about Shakey's.
Yeah.
Fine dining party of 3.
We will talk about Shakey's, but for now, our table is ready. We'll be right back.
Your table is ready, follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs, I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready, complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs, knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some crap from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining, just fine dining, fine dining. Letters on the sign are shining, neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect 5 out of 10. Fine dining, fine dining.
First impressions.
Our first impression with this, I guess, Garrett, was you and I waiting for Zeus outside. And I'm just like, we're going to have to apologize to him before we even go in. You walk up and I'm just like, I'm sorry for what's about to happen. Your face just kind of like dropped.
Yeah.
You're like, what's about to happen? Garrett's sitting there with like a backpack on his stomach.
Yeah. It didn't look quite normal.
So do we want to, I guess, just go into this? You drew a you must bowl punishment from last week.
And I had to crab walk from the table to the buffet and back every single time I went there.
Every time he went to the buffet, he had to lean back on all fours and crab walk like a true spectacle.
Yeah, no, the thing about the crab walk is you have to get your ass high enough in the air so you're not dragging it behind you, because no self-respecting crab keeps its butt on the ground.
As we all know.
Yeah, it's common knowledge.
And how are you physically doing days later after doing this crab walk way too many times?
I'm wearing a back brace. My back's a mess. Apparently, your arms extended in that position and walking for the amount I did is not a natural position, and you're not supposed to do it. Zeus, is that really bad for you? You're a lot more fit. You know more about this body.
Zeus is just like a big, muscular... You know those like buff body suits that you put on when you're a kid when you want to feel like a superhero? Zeus looks like that all the time.
See, I knew this was going to go down the wrong road. I just knew it.
Wait, so you're picturing... Here, let's make a new rule. Stop picturing guests in bodysuits.
I'm not picturing it. It's the vibe he gives off.
Man in a bodysuit?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like the buff fake muscles Halloween costume. Shut up.
See, you guys should apologize to me again for being on the podcast, for being considered of wearing a bodysuit.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, Zeus, I'm sorry that Michael doesn't know how to be polite and describe people's bodies in an accurate manner.
You're a swole guy. What can I say?
You could have said that first and said, hey, man, you look like a lifeless, emotionless bodysuit.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
I said he looks like he's wearing a bodysuit. It's
a guy
very
who's
different.
wrapped in spandex.
Anyways, let's get to Shakey's. We walk into the restaurant, you go inside, and there was a painting, like a picture on the wall directly inside that really tickled me. It was the most unapologetically stereotypical American as you can get. It had the old Betsy Ross American flag. It had like an old school Corvette or some sort of car, a piano, a half a watermelon with a knife in it, a baseball team playing, and then right at the bottom, like subtly sneaking in, like we're a part of America too, Shakey's Pizza, just half a Shakey's Pizza. This is what I'm referencing.
Why is there a knife just
Yeah.
jammed into that watermelon?
What's the piano for?
To me, it just feels like ragtime. It's like, we're from the 1930s. Look at all these classic things, which there's no way Shakey's is around
Actually,
that long.
Shakey-
Actually, is Shakey's around?
Shakey's got its start from the owner's love of jazz.
Wow.
So he was
okay.
actually a jazz musician.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of neat. But yeah, that photo was just like, wow, really trying to force yourself onto the zeitgeist there, Shakey's. The first thing you see is a carryout window, which I guess to me kind of states you should go.
Right.
You walk in, it's a carryout window, like, save your dignity. You don't have to eat here.
But you know what my favorite part about this carryout window?
What?
There was a magazine waiting on the ledge as if you're supposed to sit there and wait for your pizza. There was just one lonely Essence magazine waiting there for
Like
you.
a doctor's waiting room.
Yes. And just one magazine. That's it.
Yeah. And then to the right of that, you've got kind of like that old school brick wall with their menu on it. But of course, the thing that everyone's there for, especially at lunchtime when we went, is the buffet. So
The buffet.
we just got 3 lunch buffets. Me, as always, with any fast casual establishment, I look confused talking to a cashier because I'm flustered that I didn't get to go to my table and sit, even though it could not be any easier at this place specifically to just be like, I'll have one buffet, please.
Yeah, I'll have a thing.
I have a plate.
Now, in this same area on the way out, you ran into someone you knew, Zeus. And I could just sense a look in their face of like they were kind of embarrassed to be spotted at a Shakey's.
I don't know who was more embarrassed, him or I, because I certainly was embarrassed.
No.
So yeah, I think that was my third shock of the lunch.
Well, I know what the first one was. What was the second?
Well, the first one was I'm at Shakey's.
Oh, yeah.
The second one was the crab walk.
And the third one was I've been spotted at
Yes.
Shakey's.
And I'm sure I was talked about amongst friends because we know quite a few people, me and my buddy Dave. So
Do you think Dave got to see the crab walk?
no, I wish he would have. I really
Do
wish
you
he would.
really?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would that have not given you more secondhand embarrassment?
Yeah, but it would have been worth seeing his expression.
Almost like, hey, we're going through this together.
Right.
I do feel forever closer to you having watched Garrett
Yeah.
do that now. I'm just like, we were in the trenches.
Yeah, basic
Yeah.
trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Garrett, despite how much you embarrassed us, let's give you a chance to redeem yourself. Have you rounded up some resty facts and you're going to tell us about the background of Shakey's Pizza Parlor?
Let me crab walk him on over.
Let's do it in this week's Resty Fact Roundup. As we know, my mom is not too fond of the whip noise that we use to round up our Resty Facts, but Garrett's mom is, so we're going to keep it, leave it a little bit quieter, but still add some sound to cover it up. What should we do this week?
How about a crab?
Okay.
That's fitting.
Garrett, what's your best crab noise?
I'm a crab.
Great.
I'm a crab. Shakey's Pizza Parlor and Ye Public House opened up in Sacramento, California in 1954. And yes, the end of the name used to be Ye Public House.
Like YE, like I'm old timey and
like
stuff.
Kanye.
You think he got it from there?
Yeah. Oh, you know Kanye was a Shakey's fan growing
We
up.
do.
I'm a crab. Since it opened up in 1954, Shakey's was the first pizza chain in the U.S. And that preceded...
Oh, at all. I thought you were about to preface it with like to do a buffet.
No,
just
no.
the
It was
first pizza chain?
First pizza...
That's actually really
Wow.
wild.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, Pizza Hut maybe? But no. Pizza Hut opened up 4 years later in 1958. So 1954, the first franchisable pizza chain in the U.S.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This beats out Pizza Hut. It also beats out Little Caesars and Domino's, which opened up in 59 and 60.
I mean, when you said first, I assumed it beat out all of those things.
Yeah, no. So,
but it is interesting to know by how long.
Yeah.
I'm a crab. Sherwood, Shakey Johnson, and Ed Plummer, two college buddies.
Hold on, please tell me Shakey is in quotes and that it's not his birth name. Was that like his nickname or was like his middle name actually Shakey?
No. It's his nickname.
Okay.
But he got the nickname from the nerve damage he received from malaria that he got during World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's
Well,
so
is that
funny.
better than like getting the shakes from crack? But
Yeah.
Can you imagine a crackhead with the initiative to open up a pizza chain?
I'm a crab. Shakey's Pizza opened up on a Friday night, but the ovens were not yet completed.
okay, well, how
Then
did
why?
it turn
So
out?
they had no food, no way to cook food for an entire weekend. So all they did was just get people massively drunk.
Why did they even open?
Yeah.
Just wait. What's the rush?
They wanted to get people drunk. So
I guess.
this entire first weekend, they were actually successful. They were pretty much just a beer hole.
So they're kind of leaning into the Ye Public House part.
Shakey Johnson himself.
I'm gonna laugh every time I hear that.
No, when you say Shaky Johnson, sounds like
Oh
some.
God!
I'll leave it at that.
Oh man!
So Shakey Johnson, that opening weekend, played the piano with his hands to entertain the guests. So this was just more of a club. His business partner, Ed Plummer, delivered the beers.
Why'd you specify with his hands? Of course, that's what he played the piano with.
Well, Shaky Johnson,
Well, if you've
pal.
got a Shaky Johnson, that's
Let's
some,
not go back there.
that's some talent, I guess.
Yeah. So after this weekend of drunkery, Monday rolls around, the pizza ovens are done, they have some nice profit, they use that money to buy pizza ingredients to finally feed their patrons,
Uh-huh.
and it's all success for a while from there.
I love the inclusion of for
For
a
a
while.
Yeah. I'm a crab. The second location opened up in Portland, Oregon in 1956.
I always forget you say Oregon.
What's it supposed to be?
Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah,
Oregon? No.
Oregon. I
Oregon?
literally looked at it on the University of Oregon website. Oregon, not Oregon, like they specify. But it's very Midwestern because when I lived in the Midwest, I remember hearing Oregon all the time and
Okay.
I thought it was that. But
Okay, well, the third opened up in Albany, Oregon
there it is.
in
Ah.
1959. These early locations were known for their live jazz music, often played by Shakey Johnson himself.
I'd show up to a live jazz
Right?
show at a Shakey's.
There's actually a model remake of the original Shakey's Pizza in the Banjo Hall of Fame.
Oh,
He played the banjo.
weird.
Just because of like the music and jazz
affiliation.
roots of it.
Ah, okay.
I'm a crab. As this place was expanding, Johnson planned all of this expansion around the retail footprint of the largest shoe seller in the U.S. at the time, Kinney Shoes. So, shoe store opens, let's open a Shakey's right by it.
Like how you always see a Pizza Hut next to a Taco Bell or
Something
something
like
for
that,
a while.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Kinney Shoes, never heard of it, but they're still alive today as Foot Locker.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a crab. Johnson sold his interest in the company in 1967, and at the time there were 227 locations.
Impressive.
That ballooned more than I guess I would have ever guessed.
By 1974, there were around 500 locations all across the U.S.,
Whoa.
everywhere from Southern California all the way up to New York State.
Wow.
I'm a crab. Unfortunately, 15 years later, it was down to 221 locations again.
They flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, it was just a combination of mismanagement, an outdated building feel, increased competition.
Now, was there always the jazz affiliation at all of them, or was it just kind of the original one?
I didn't see too many musical elements at the one we went to.
Right.
But there's still, I think I saw one trombone. Might have been one trombone picture.
Uh-huh.
So a small element exists.
A picture of a trombone. Wow, Shakey's in that music.
Yes. I'm a crab. Currently, there are 48 locations in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they all in California?
46 are in California.
Yeah.
45 of those are in Southern California.
Okay.
And 2 are in Washington.
Skipped over Oregon.
Those all closed. Oregon closed.
Yeah.
Oregon no more. Oregon? No.
Nailed
Wordplay.
it. Stuck the landing.
Good job. I'm smart. I'm a crab. Around the peak of the chain's U.S. success, it expanded into the Philippines.
Oh.
And so did its success.
Interesting.
Yeah. I see this as 2 diverging paths. In the US, as Shakey's just starts spiraling downward, the Asian branch of the company is nothing but just
Massive success. Yeah.
Wow.
At the end of 2022, Shakey's Pizza Asian Ventures owned 268 international locations, with the vast majority in the Philippines, and they also had them in Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, and Dubai.
Wait, are they still booming in those places?
Oh, yeah, they're massively popular.
That's Dubai. That's
Kinda,
interesting.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
location.
Dubai is a very high-end place.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you go into, well, at least if you were to go by the Shakey's here,
You
that
would
doesn't-
not.
Yeah.
This does not belong there.
Yeah, doesn't even belong where we went.
Right.
I'm a crab. To show its success, Shakey's Asia just purchased Filipino potato giant Potato Corner.
Oh, is that the French fry
Yeah.
place?
You see the French fry stands in malls, Potato Corner. Fun fact, a lot of the potato corners you see in the US are fake potato corners.
What does that mean?
They're not the actual Filipino brand. There are very few official Filipino Potato Corner owned brand
but
locations.
they have the same name?
Yes.
Do they have the same look?
Yes.
So how would you differentiate between the two? Is it like the ingredient supplier or something?
Pretty much all I saw was just the internet tells you.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
because the internet's always
It
right.
is.
Yeah. Google it.
Yeah. That'll do it for this week's Resty Fact Roundup.
Atmosphere.
So once we sit down at the table, I immediately get the feeling like I'm in one of those 90s Pizza Huts. And it's very specifically because of the lampshade covers that they had. That, like, how do you even describe it? Like that crystallized, like it's like ashtray colors, like 80s ashtray colors.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's almost like it was a
Like
fake
the green, the red, the yellow.
fake Tiffany lamp style.
I dig it. That plus brick walls. I'm just like, I feel like I'm in that.
Also, like the burgundy maroon colored booths. It's big
Now, actually-
Pizza Hut energy.
With the fact that Shakey's came before Pizza Hut, did Pizza Hut steal the aesthetic from Shakey's?
I don't know. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
If you notice, Shakey's is also known for its distinctive roofing style.
Oh,
Which
and so is Pizza Hut, yeah.
Wow,
is
yeah.
wildly similar to what Pizza Hut has.
That's right. It is.
Yeah.
They have that slant.
This is an audio medium, Zeus.
Yeah,
You're doing the
they had
shape
that
with
kinda
your
like
hands.
little short slant there. Yeah, yeah.
Zeus like meticulously pantomimed what a Pizza Hut roof looks like. I'm like, no one can hear that.
Yeah. So did Pizza Hut rip off Shakey's?
I don't know. We're throwing it out there now, though. It's possible.
It is possible.
We're making accusations
That's
that Pizza
right.
Hut can't back up.
Because the original architect, he's no longer with us, and he's already collected his hundreds of thousands of dollars for the original Pizza Hut design.
He's taken it to the grave.
He took it.
He'll never be like, I just stole from Shakey's. I'm a piece of shit. He's just sitting there.
His hair's all slicked back.
Yeah.
Now, some of the signage on the walls I saw, there was a sign that just said, now there's a restaurant with pizza as good as Shakey's, which isn't the endorsement I think they think it is.
Yeah.
But are they also saying that, like, Shakey's pizza is as good as Shakey's pizza? Like, they are their own bar?
That is true.
Yeah, this pizza is definitively as good as Shakey's. The problem is Shakey's isn't very good pizza. there was like some old-timey, I don't even know how you describe this, a chef next to a barrel in like a almost Rocky and Bullwinkle-esque animation style.
Yeah, that's old.
That was all like, Mickey Mouse, like a Steamboat Willie style animation.
Is that like 60s, 50s or 60s?
Something like that,
Yeah.
There's little classier signs going around. It looks like it was printed on like an early printer.
Okay. It says Tour Italy.
Tour Italy.
I thought it said Tom Brady. I'm like, why? What does Shakey's have to do with Tom Brady?
Yeah. No, Tour Italy. The best bargain in Italy is at your neighborhood Shakey's. A mouth-boggling array of delicious pastas. Mouth-boggling. Like, we're here to confuse your mouth. Manicotti, spaghetti, lasagna, served with crunchy garlic toast. At our pasta buffet, you can sample them all. And all for a very untouristy low price. Whole lot of Shakey's going on is the slogan they decided to put on the bottom. That makes it sound like an infliction.
Oh my God. Okay.
Like what a doctor says to you. You got a whole lot of Shakey's going on here.
There's a lot of lying in that sign right there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 3 plates. From a distance, it looked like something else. Zeus, what does this look like to you?
He doesn't see the penis that you see. You see a penis in everything, Garrett.
Like,
I
there's
see
the head.
Mr. Johnson right there.
No, you don't. Don't
Yes, I
side
do.
with
Yes,
him.
I do. Yes, I do.
Don't
Look,
side with him.
I see Mr. Johnson right there.
There's a clear mushroom.
That's right. Shaky Johnson right there. I think that's him.
I can't bring either of you anywhere. They have another sign that's in the same art style that says introducing the incredible hunk. And it's just like a big, thick piece of pizza. And
See where they're going?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, hunk.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson's incredible hunk.
Shaky Johnson.
This one says, what a hunk. Our new, rich, thick, deep dish super pan pizza comes with a sea of tomato sauce and a mountain of cheeses. And for a little extra, you can choose to put hordes of black olives or mushrooms or pepperoni or green peppers or sausage or onions or loads and loads of everything else you want on top of it. So come in and get your hands on a slice. Both hands. Jesus, this is suggestive.
Yeah. See?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll yield that.
Yeah, Shaky Johnson had to be America's first pornography producer.
That's right. You know, a lot of porn is being produced in the Valley.
That's true. A Shaky Johnson production.
I love it.
Do you think if he has a Shaky Johnson, he counts as being the first vibrator?
A Shaky Johnson production. Starring Ramona Moans and the jazz man himself, Shaky Johnson.
That's me, baby.
Shakey's Pizza Parlor, Ramona speaking. Carry out or delivery?
Oh yeah, you know where it goes from here.
Oh my, your order's so big. I'll be right over after I put it in my oven.
Less than 30 minutes later.
Oh, over 30 minutes. Guess it's free.
No, silly. The narrator clearly said less than 30 minutes. You've got to pay full price for this. And a tip.
How about just the tip?
No, sorry. Store policy. You have to pay for the full pizza.
What's going on here? We're supposed to get to the part where we,
Yeah, I know. But the scenario is like way not believable.
Just say the line. Come on, please.
Just the tip will have to do. You know, this pizza isn't the only thing meat lovers on your doorstep right now.
Well, hey, have you ever been with a man with a vibrating pepperoni before?
It does what now? Oh my god! That is the funniest penis I've ever seen!
You're not supposed to be laughing.
It's slinging around like a ceiling fan!
I can't control it. I had malaria in the war.
What is that? Okay, sorry. Where were we?
I was just about to get to the part where I say I'm gonna stuff your crust.
My crust? That is disgusting. Honestly, this whole script is nonsense. I mean, 1, you're naked while your front door is wide open.
Oh, yeah,
2, Shakey's doesn't even do stuffed crust. And also, why are you, the founder, ordering? Shouldn't you be the company representative in this scenario? And I'm pretty sure Shakey's doesn't do delivery, especially
maybe.
not with a 30 minutes or it's free stipulation. And why did you write a line where I reference the narrator?
Oh, damn. Check and mate.
No one is watching this for the story.
Then why did you have it start literally at your store and not just in a bed or something?
I just really like pizza.
I can't do this. I have artistic integrity.
What the fuck is that?
I'm sorry. Here's your pizza.
Well, pizza, guess it's just you and me. I'm gonna go deep dish on you. Balls deep dish.
Shakey's doesn't even have deep dish.
Why are you trying to poke holes in everything fun? You ruined my movie. This is all I have, and I'm still gonna release this. Some of the other elements, other than the signage, there's the buffet, obviously.
Yeah.
It is not appetizing to look at. There's like a little salad bar area. There's a pizza area.
And there's like a slop area.
Yeah, like what was it? Like a warm, hot.
I would call nothing here hot. Let's
Absolutely, I agree.
strike
Yeah.
that word from our vocabulary.
Yeah.
Warm at best, and even then,
lukewarm.
Yeah.
So there were 2 miniature buffets. You had the cold one with the salad, and what was the other stuff? I couldn't figure it out. It looked like
There was like a
was
cup
there a
of
Jello
croutons.
or something over there?
I
think there might have been Jello.
Yeah.
And then there was a cup of croutons, and then on the other side they had corn,
Mashed potatoes,
gravy,
rice,
chicken.
and baked chicken.
They had rotisserie chicken, and
Yes.
then they had fried chicken at a slightly different part of the buffet.
Yes.
So they had the 2 types. None of it looked appetizing. You know, the lighting was, it's a heat lamp.
Yeah.
Which isn't just like, it's not going to spotlight your food very well. Now,
And it
Garrett,
didn't even keep the food warm.
No, not really.
But we'll get to that later.
Uncomfortable chairs, by the way. Wooden chairs, like
Yeah.
like in a 50s home or something
We
like
should
that.
take off the bodysuit. It fits so much better.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Are you talking shit
Here
to
we
a
are,
man that can
back-
snap you in half?
Yes.
At a moment's notice.
bodysuit.
Yeah, I didn't particularly notice one way or another. They certainly weren't like good chairs. I wasn't uncomfortable, but I did look around and I was like, man, I wish I would have had a booth.
Yeah.
The booths looked comfortable,
Yeah.
but freaking Garrett had to keep crab walking, and the table was the closest thing to the buffet.
I want to talk a little bit about the crab walk.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about this crab walk.
I mean, did you guys notice that the people, the customers,
No one cared.
no one cared.
No one was
No one
bothered.
cared.
No one gave it attention. It was the most Los Angeles thing possible. Just we're so numb to it and used to it.
Don't engage with the crazy man.
Yeah.
No one cared. I mean, I looked everywhere. No one had a smirk. No one had. Who is this weirdo walking on his hands?
It was like, if I look away, it'll just be over sooner.
And you know what was really interesting? Do you remember the guy that came in with his daughter? The daughter didn't even flinch. She was about 7 or 8 years old. What kind of city do we live in?
I think she even yelled like and subscribe afterwards.
That's right.
I remember that we were done at this point. We were walking out back to the car. I was just moseying along crab
Which
walking.
you opted to do. You did not have to do that. You had already fulfilled your obligation.
I come right up to this little girl. She's taller than me because I'm walking like a crab.
Yeah.
But I could tell her dad pretty quickly was just motioned her to go in a different direction.
Right. But also, too, the proximity of people was very close.
Yeah.
And we're even talking about employees like from the buffet to the counter where you actually order. They could see everything. The cooks, the bussers, everything.
We were so exposed.
Yeah, everyone got to see my crab glory.
Yeah, and people were just doing their job like nothing nothing was like there's no crab walk happening. It was the weirdest thing.
Or like it's just their lot in life to put up with it and they're going to do the best they can.
Yeah. And you know what? That really helped me not being so embarrassed.
Because it wasn't like everyone, like every head in the room turned to stare at you. Like, you guys are enabling this. You know what, Zeus? I'm actually going to say that people's tolerance level at the crazy shit that happens in a Burbank Shakey's is way too much.
This is
All I can say is, notice me, senpai.
Yeah, like, I don't get why we're just putting up with it. I wasn't even putting up with it. So, yeah, everyone's tolerance levels here were, in fact, way too much. So I want to talk about the decisions you made to logistically make this crab walk happen. Because, look, we understand that it's a public buffet. You can't put your hands on the floor and then all over food. But that was accounted for. There's also the idea of once he puts his plate together, he has to scuttle back to the table. He thought about that as well. Garrett, let's talk about it.
So I brought a pair of old winter gloves I had from Michigan. Obviously, I don't need those things out here. So I had shoes for my hands.
Great.
With
yes,
their gloves.
The gloves, yeah.
I brought a giant tube of saran wrap.
Which you used very liberally.
Because, like, okay, I'm not confident in my ability to balance a plate on my stomach and crab walk.
Of course.
So I needed to fully wrap my loaded plate in saran wrap, and I slid it into my backpack.
Which you wore on your stomach.
On his stomach.
And then I crab walked back, and all of the food stayed safe. I even got a soda, wrapped that up too. Shoved it in the backpack.
I was very impressed by the logistics of this. Yeah. So dumb, very smart, but dumb. Yeah, it was an ingenious plan. I will give you that. I was shocked as well, Zeus, that people just weren't. It wasn't that they weren't into it or were opposed to it or anything. It was just they were giving us nothing. To be fair, I don't want attention.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm glad we didn't get I'm always worried that we're going to get kicked out of a place for our You Must Bowl punishment. I hated every second of your crab walking.
I loved it.
Well, that's because you have no sense of shame. It's almost admirable how little shame that you feel. You are just so much yourself. Like, they could write a kid's book about you to make kids look up to, like, oh, just be who you are and, like, own up to yourself.
The crab abomination. On the ocean floor, there was a crab. Not just your average crab. No. This crab was different. This crab was called the crab abomination. Most crabs felt self-conscious in their shells they hide away. Like little homes, they could stay inside and escape the day. The crab abomination was having none of that. He was unabashedly himself. He saw to it that none of his inhibitions were withheld. The crab abomination didn't have a shell to come out of, you see. The crab abomination had no sense of shame. He was not like you. He was not like me.
I'm a crab.
He was ousted by the other crabs, refusing to crack under their pressure. He scuttled around willy-nilly, following his antennae to whatever. He had a special walk, and even though it made him infamous, the other crabs avoided doing it out of fear they'd look ridiculous. Michael Crab came up to him and asked,
"How do you do it?"
The crab abomination just replied,
"I just pushed through it."
Then, without warning, the crab abomination leaned back on all fours. Michael Crab did the same and got in position to follow course. The two of them scurried off in a way that didn't look crustacean. For the first time, Michael Crab was living like the crab abomination. The crab abomination turned and told him that his name was Garrett. He wasn't an abomination, just a crab who'd been disparaged. Michael Crab said jealousy was the reason and that it wasn't true.
"We all just wished that we'd all had the shells to walk like you."
The crab abomination cried tears of joy, asking if he could return home.
"Crabsolutely,"
said Michael Crab.
"I feel there's an apology you're owed."
So Michael Crab and Garrett Crab went back home to the cast, and all the crabs learned to walk like they too were unabashed. Yeah, he was very excited about doing the crab walk. I mean, you and I weren't excited to watch it or to sit at that table. Actually, before he did the first walk, I turned the opposite direction, looked on my phone.
You absolutely did, as though that table still isn't very much attached to where he just left.
Yes.
Yeah, ignore the crab and it's not there.
It's so clear you were still a part of us.
Yeah. With my bodysuit on.
Now, one thing that Shakey's did have that we haven't gotten to experience since, I think, Fuddruckers, which is a Patreon episode, was a little arcade area.
And when
if
you say
could
little,
call it that.
Yeah.
It
little.
was so small. It was kind of pathetic. Like, nothing yet has surpassed the grandeur of the Gaddytown arcade. As much as their buffet sucked, I had a fun time in their arcade.
You know, if you got 8 or 9 arcade devices to play on and 3 are broke, that's kind of disappointing for kids.
Smash them into a corner. Like, their real estate was terrible. There were like 2 on one side and like 7 on the other.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I hated the shitty drop ceiling. It looked like the most depressing office break room you've ever seen.
Most of the games here were ticket earners. They were either prize earners or ticket earners. I don't believe they had any games except for like a Cruisin' USA game or whatever it was that was just for fun.
Oh, they had the world's easiest claw game.
Yeah, it was just a rubber ball, and it was perfectly the shape of the claw.
And it was bumpy, too, so the claws had something to grab onto. I've never seen a claw machine that was designed for you to win.
But the prize made it to where you almost... The goal is to not win. You're like, I don't want this crappy ball. What am I going to do with this?
I took it home, like, I put it in front of my dog. He hated it.
It's also too big for your dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a Barrel of Monkeys game that I enjoyed because it was very timing based, and I got to all but the last monkey because it's one of those things where it's kind of rigged, where like, you know, the cyclone thing where the light spins around and you have to hit it.
There was one of those too.
There was one of those as well, and I got the light on either side of the jackpot, but never the jackpot. And folks, I have impeccable timing, okay? I was the #1 ranked first chair percussionist in the state of Texas in 2006. So
that's a pretty good accomplishment. But Rock Band, that's the accomplishment.
Oh yeah, I was 3rd on the drum leaderboards for like years for PS3.
Wow.
PS3
for PS3 leaderboards, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that is internationally the 3rd ranked drummer.
It was a time in my life where it was like kind of my identity. They had a Deal or No Deal machine that was broken. We've come across that a couple of times. Not a broken one, but that game where you just kind of try and narrow down a briefcase.
You film it with your phone, you slow down the video.
And you can tell which case has the grand prize in it. Like, there's a very easy way to cheat, although the game does put pressure on you to make decisions lightning fast, and you may not have slowed down your phone to get that info yet. I don't know. They had a game just called Crank It, which
Jesus,
you just pull a lever and it spins around and gives you tickets based on whatever it lands on.
Did Shakey Johnson invent that game?
Look, I'm starting to think that this is all like intentionally sexual and like Shakey's hosts after-hour orgies or something.
It's headed in that direction now, isn't it?
Yeah. They had the Big Bass Wheel Pro, which is basically the same game. You just pull on a lever slightly differently and it gives you tickets. They had like a Nerf shooter.
So you yank things and you shoot things and you get a prize.
Yep. They had one where you drop a ball just called Slam a Winner.
Jesus!
And then naturally, and hopefully this isn't Shakey Johnson admitting to something, but they had the Speed Demon. And that was the one that we kept trying to like pull like almost like the pinball type ball, and it would spin around and try and land in the right slot. So yeah, not many good games. And equally, not many good prizes. We went over to the counter afterwards. They had your standard arcade fare. There was literally nothing there that stood out as that unique. We did rack up a decent amount of tickets, like 300 or something. Not enough to really do anything with.
But you know what we did get? Small, tiny handcuffs.
That's right.
Tiny handcuffs, which we threw up on the tchotchke of mediocrity. $20 for tiny handcuffs, a little rubber ducky, and 3 Warhead candies.
And now, a word from our totally not made up sponsor.
Oh, hi there. It's your favorite sponsor, Jub, and I'm back with a brand new business. Do you have your own little restaurant arcade and you're looking to sell some junk for prizes? I'm your guy. I've got the goods, baby. Recently, I was rummaging through the trunk of my home, and I found a bunch of goodies. Stuff like my ex-wife's hair ties that fell under the passenger seat. Or what about re-wrapped Jolly Ranchers? They remind me of a time when my kids would still talk to me. Oh, or what about this? A cellular telephone that flips open and looks like a hamburger. It's got a 4-foot curly cord that always wraps around the stick shift. And you need to have a cigarette lighter slot or else it won't plug in. But hey, you'll look retro. And that's cool. Anyways, this is the kind of crap that I can get you. I'll sell it to you real cheap so you can turn it around for a stupid profit. It's not like you're selling anything much better. So if you like this, call me. Not on a phone. Find me at the underpass where I'm parked overnight. Breathe on the window glass so it fogs up real nice. And then use your finger to write your name and address. And I'll find you when I wake up. Okay, bye. Okay, so what else was there before we rate it? There was a sign outside the arcade, like a neon sign that just said, fun stuff.
Well, I didn't have a lot of fun.
Did you not? Did you not enjoy your time with us? Having to look away and be on your... Oh.
The arcade, because there were some things that weren't working. They weren't operating.
Yeah, like my sense of shame that was not operating.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing I want to mention, just because it's always very funny to me. There was a kid at the buffet at the same time that I was. Kids are so stupid. Their inability to handle like those pizza scoop spatula things. Just like the same piece of pizza kept falling off his spatula probably 6 times before he got it on his plate, where I just really wanted to do it for him. Just have like a little bit of a sense of a center of gravity. That's all it is.
Hey man, stop making fun of this child's nerve damage.
Oh boy.
Yeah, his hand was shaking. Maybe that's insensitive.
That's the great-great-grandson.
Yeah. All right, well, we got to shake our thumbs at Shakey's and see how did it score in the atmosphere department. The reminiscence to Pizza Hut gave this a big boost. It kind of took me back to a part of my childhood. I like the brick decor look of a place. I like those lampshades a lot, to a point where like it may have like actually saved a kind of sad buffet and sad arcade to at least come out neutral. So I'm going to go no thumbs. No thumbs up, no thumbs down for Shakey's.
I'm going to go 1 thumb down. This immediately felt like the tavern-style place where you get pizza from the combination of brick, burgundy coloring, and abundance of wood. It's outdated, but it's comfortable and lived in. This is exactly what mediocrity is all about. Unfortunately, the floors were filthy.
And you were up close and personal with them.
Yeah, I got a very clear view, and this arcade was nothing but a depressing, sad excuse for a childhood escape from the depression that's outside those doors.
Only to be let out in tiny handcuffs.
Oh, God.
That's your escape.
Oh.
So, 1 thumb down?
1 thumb down.
Well, I'm going to go neutral on this, which, like Mike said, no thumb up, no thumb down. I expected it to be the way it was. The arcade, I expected that to be disappointing.
And it was.
Yeah. And so in the ambiance was kind of...
it was just there.
It was just there. It wasn't bright. It wasn't dark. It was just there, in between.
So your thumb rating is based on the illumination amount, the lumens of the room.
Yeah.
It wasn't too dark, wasn't too bright. No thumbs.
Yeah.
Service.
This is kind of a fast casual place. I mean, they did have some people coming to the table for like bussing and stuff, but even then, they waited for you to really have a mess at your table before they bust anything. But other than that, it's you order at a counter and it's a buffet. So service here is, I guess, akin to maybe Sizzler. No, not Sizzler, because they actually served us.
But they brought the pizzas out when they were ready.
Oh, that's right. If you had ordered a pizza instead of the buffet, they would have brought it to your table. So, I mean, I guess it's like
the Pizza Hut experience we had.
Yeah. The main part of the service team that I really noticed was the manager. Seemed like a really nice guy.
He was suspicious when he saw me saran wrapping a plate and putting it into my backpack. This was not an acceptable thing, apparently.
Well, of course it's not. What do you mean, apparently?
How else do you get it back to the table?
You don't crab walk. He didn't know that it was your curse that you had to crab walk.
But couldn't he see me crab walking?
Oh, he could see you crab walking. Everyone could see you crab walking, and apparently no one cared.
Speaking of which, the woman at the front counter, like, she just didn't look at my crab walk.
She had such a, I'm just here, just get through it
She
demeanor.
also, like, didn't even, like, greet us when we came in the door. Whatever. I think she's the smart one, though. She knew we were trouble.
She wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But no, the manager, like, came up to me later and was like, what's this for? Where can I find it? Do you guys have a YouTube channel? I was like, we do a podcast. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are. And
yeah, you can see the future video on our Instagram and TikTok.
That's right. We're on Instagram at Fine Dining Podcast. We're on TikTok at Fine Dining Podcast. And you can email us whatever you want, finediningpodcast@gmail.com. We might regret that, but I don't know. Maybe we won't. The first time I encountered this manager, though, I had walked up to the buffet and there were 2 different marinara sauces in the buffet next to the spaghetti. So I assume there's a difference between them.
Meat and marinara.
But the meat wasn't very clear. They looked identical, but there was a giant chicken leg floating on the surface of one of them.
No.
And he sees me take out my phone and take a picture, and he comes over immediately and just scoops it out, and he goes, that's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah, there it is, folks.
That's the photo.
I wish you guys could see it.
We'll put it on our social media.
Is that Return of the Wing?
It's not a floor wing. This is not a floor wing.
But it's a sauce wing.
It's a sauce wing.
So yeah, the manager was a busy bee, wasn't he? He was
he was working hard.
Yeah.
He was all over the place handling everything. And you think maybe that the employees didn't want to like show how they really felt because they could have thought, is there something wrong with this guy?
Well, okay, hold on. Wait, what? Where's this coming from? Oh, with Garrett.
Yes, with Garrett. Doing the crab walk, right?
I see. Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the employees thought that about their manager. I was like, he seemed like a nice enough guy.
No. Let me clarify that about Garrett because nobody said anything.
Yeah.
And like the girl at the counter, no eye contact.
None.
She looked.
She was just
ahead.
staring into her cash register buttons, or her little computer thing. Yeah. I think it was very much like, we got to give him space to just do his thing, just zone it out.
Yeah, let's hurry. Let's hope it ends quick.
It was absolute enablement. So I want to talk about the busing, because the busing kind of took forever to the point where, like, you get the buffet and they give you 2 plates.
Yes.
They give you like an elliptical plate and they give you a circular plate, presumably one for salad and one for the rest of your meal, for the hot, for the cold.
One for sadness and one for sadness.
Yeah. I ended up using one plate to eat and the other for trash.
So all of the food.
All of the food starts as trash, but later becomes discarded trash. Yeah. So like all the bones, all
napkins.
The stuff, the napkins, the stuff I decided I've had enough of this, like the pizza, stuff like that. It took forever for the busser to come by and like offer to take the plate, to the point that it was kind of frustrating me. But I did notice that he was passing by a lot regardless. A full bus cart. It wasn't even like the little bin that you see some bussers carrying around. It was a full cart he was pushing around, and he kept pushing it past our table. And, you know, I get it. You got places to go, but just the frequency with which he did it brought a little question to my mind, Garrett. It made me ask, what's going on over there?
What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Should I worry? Should I care? What is going on over there?
Michael, what's going on over there?
I think this guy was trying to be the hero. I think he was trying to take the bullet for the team. He was like, this guy is hell-bent on crab walking. I'm going to put my bus cart in the way all the time and put a stop to this. I think this guy had a crab vendetta.
Little did this guy know, crabs can not only walk forward and back, they can walk side to side.
They can scuttle side to side. You sidestepped that cart, and he was like, no.
I'm thinking he just wanted to learn how to crab walk himself, because he kept walking back and forth and kind of like leaning in and see what we were saying and doing.
Like, oh, I hope they notice me. I'm really curious about this lifestyle they lead.
Sounds like a Southern politician.
Oh.
Also just willing to flip sides. First he's against crabs and then he wants to become one. He's like, what'll get me more votes? Yeah, I think pretty obviously that is in fact
What's going on over there?
So the last thing that I noticed that was weird, I don't think either of you caught it, but there was an employee who just ran a completely black, burnt to shit pizza from the buffet to the back. I mean, he didn't set it out at the buffet, but just like we need to like disposing of a body almost. Like we can't do this in front of polite company.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. No, he was like rushing by one of the times that Garrett called me over to like film me while you're saran wrapping
so we were
stuff.
distracted, so they used that moment to get rid of the evidence.
To smuggle the pizza past. Yeah, they're like, oh, I hope no one notices this. Yeah, they clearly just like left it in too long, but it looked like a street-colored concrete pizza. Like that dark gray to like black, like asphalt pizza.
Wow.
Ugh.
Which is kind of how Shakey's tasted, their regular pizza.
Stop being a dick to asphalt.
There he goes again.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to get into what Shakey's tasted like. First, we got to rate the service. Again, the trash pile on my table bugged me, but the manager was really nice and curious and kind of asked about the show, which is a cheat code to my heart. So I'm just, again, going to go 0 thumbs with the service.
I'm going to go 0 thumbs because my entire goal this trip was don't be noticed, don't interact with any of the service staff.
And they made that easy.
Yeah. 0 thumbs. Good job, guys.
I'm going to get 1 thumb up because one thing I did notice was that they really never let the food run out. You know?
It was well stocked.
Yeah, they kept it stocked.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is they just didn't want to communicate with us. So that's kind of a good thing.
Because any communication would have been a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, sir, you need to leave.
What's worse than a man crab walking?
Very little.
Talking to a man crab walking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I made eye contact with you one time while you were crab walking.
And I scuttled up to you.
It actually haunted me for, I was like, I had trouble falling asleep that night.
Food. Yum!
So we got the buffet. It's kind of a free-for-all. You just load up your dish with whatever you want. Zeus, you're the only one who had a semblance of structure. You started with a salad.
I started with the salad, and that was challenging because we arrived at the perfect lunchtime, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everything should be fresh, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had to pick through the salad because there were
So many
some old, bad salad.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's 12 o'clock.
Like it's like browning and stuff.
Browning, yes. And
Yeah.
I hate that.
Ah, you got the last night salad.
Right?
Ooh.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I hate that. And then, the croutons, they look, it was
They're
just,
in like a cylinder, like off to the side, like
yeah.
like one of those things that you keep silverware in typically.
Yeah.
They're like, we've got an extra one of these. Let's throw some croutons in there.
Yeah, don't see us. Don't pick us up. You know, kind of like in the corner there. And the cucumbers were wilted.
Oh, wilted cucumber.
God.
So that was my, the start
Salad
of my
you
salad
being healthy.
experience.
Yeah. With your soggy vegetables.
Yeah, that was thrown out the door real quick.
What do you score your salad?
Ooh, I'm going to give it a 1.8.
1.8 out of 10? That bad of a salad? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
Yes.
I don't think the food was much better. So, Garrett, I had to have the thing that I always get, buffet spaghetti.
I had spaghetti too.
Oh, I did too. We all had to get this buffet spaghetti.
Honestly, I wasn't mad about it. It was better than expected. I have very low expectations for a buffet spaghetti, but I went 6 out of 10. It wasn't good spaghetti by any means, but it was slightly above average. And, I coated it in crushed red pepper, which is also, I like a little bit of heat. Wasn't the worst spaghetti I've ever had. I had low expectations.
Well, it was difficult to get back to the table, for one.
That's your burden to bear.
I had the meat sauce, but this tasted like canned Chef Boyardee meat sauce with only 3/4 of the flavor. This was utter crap.
Are you sure that was meat in there?
Oh, God, I hope it was meat.
Sir, we didn't have a meat sauce spaghetti.
Right.
Oh, God, I just got shaky bumps. Oh, yeah, and noodles were overcooked. This is a 3 out of 10 spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about the 3 out of 10
Hey,
myself.
that's fine. I would by no means be like, hey, you got to get the spaghetti at Shakey's. I I was surprised. I expected to hate it, and I didn't. It got a little boost from that. You know what I did hate? The
What's
pizza. That was some of the worst pizza I've ever tasted in my life. It tasted like it had been frozen recently.
Yes.
I hate it when people use the comparison of like, it would tasted like cardboard, because that undercuts how this actually did taste like cardboard. Like, it's an overused comparison, but boy, was it apt here. This was my lowest food score I've ever given on the show. 0.5 out of 10. I hated this pizza. I came in ready to just go to town on buffet pizza. I had half a slice of pepperoni, and I called it a day.
One of my pieces of pizza tasted like it was like freezer burn. That was clearly frozen pizza.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was horrible. You know how pizza just sits out for a long time and the cheese starts to look really weird, like transparent, like you can almost see through it?
Yeah.
That's what I was eating. And it was horrible. And you know what? I'm going to go along with Mike. I think, what did you say, 0.5?
0.5.
I'm going to go 0.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ate this pizza, they would devolve back into pet turtles.
It would just be normal turtles.
And then they would die.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this, but 0 out of 10 pizza.
You can do that. This was so bad. And it's the namesake of the place.
Yes.
It's the thing that you're like, this is what we do. Now, if you've been around a Shakey's before, you know that it's actually not what they're known for. They're known for the mojos.
The mojos.
These are what they call their fried potatoes. They're basically like potato wedges almost.
Yeah. It's
like the circular cut.
Like a little disc.
Yeah.
Little miniature disc.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, they have a nice seasoned batter to them, a nice crispness.
I went 6.5 out of 10 on the mojos. I can mess up some mojos.
I'm going to give it a 5.5 because when I ate my mojos, they were barely lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the taste was there. They're really good.
They're good.
Yeah, they're really good. So
I'm going to give the colder old ones a 2 out of 10. They were literally tough. I couldn't chew them.
Uh-huh.
But once they were fresh, okay, problem solved, 6.5.
Yeah, because you got your food after I did because you were prepping up for the crab walk.
Yep.
Yeah.
The sentences you didn't know you would say.
Yeah, right.
They had other sides too. They had mashed potatoes, rice, corn. I had all of those things. The mashed potatoes tasted identical to KFC.
Really?
The same styrofoam container with a spork. I had that flavor in my mouth. Not great, but I don't know, familiar. So it had like almost a nostalgic bump to it. I went 4.5 out of 10.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to this abuse. I'm fine with it.
Basically, yes.
You know, when I looked at the mashed potatoes, because I hate KFC mashed potatoes, and I looked at it, and that's the first thing that popped in my mind, KFC mashed potatoes. I passed up on the mashed potatoes.
Honestly, it's probably a 2 out of 10 potato, but nostalgia is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It fit the ambiance, didn't it?
It really fit. Yeah.
Michael, I need to take a moment here.
Yeah.
Are you fully in the cycle of abuse right now? You need to realize what you're doing to your life and what life has been doing to you. Respect yourself.
I mean,
please.
I just went to Mastro's. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go 2 out of 10 on these potatoes.
Yeah.
Good.
There you go. That sounds much better.
Yeah. And then there was the rice. Not bad. It was like wild brown rice. Honestly, solid. I go 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
The corn, it was corn. 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Very average food.
Was it warm?
It was warm enough.
Okay.
And then there was, I guess, I got both versions of what I would call the star of the show. One of them was not the star of the show. There was the rotisserie chicken leg, and then I had a fried chicken thigh.
Mm-hmm.
The rotisserie chicken leg, whatever, 5.5 out of 10. I thought the star of this entire meal was the fried chicken.
I agreed. The chicken had nice taste to it.
Yeah. The skin was really good.
Yep, skin was. So it wasn't bad. I mean, if I were to rate the chicken from 0 out of 10, I would give it a 7.
That's exactly what I gave it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with a 6.5 out of 10. My favorite part of this chicken was the battering. It was really airy and crispy, but it fell apart. It reminded me of biting into a really crisp piece of bacon, how it just kind of crumbles apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sublime. Excellent chicken.
Yeah, it was good.
Excellent. 6.5 out of 10.
Excellent compared to the utter crap we were shoving in.
Yeah. So now we have to talk about the joke of a dessert they had. They had one option. One. It was a cinnamon puff, and it was like nothing. It didn't really have a lot of flavor. It was very light. You know, when you get a dessert, you're like, I want to hate myself when I leave here. Which,
Yes.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
But for different reasons, you know. But like, you want to feel it in your stomach and be like, oh, I got full on dessert. It was too dry. You know, cinnamon's still a good taste.
Yeah.
So it's not like the thing tasted bad, but it was very unimpressive. So I went 5 out of 10. But I mean, dessert, if you look at the average of all our desserts, that's pretty much on the low end for a dessert.
Yeah, I'm definitely going 5 out of 10 on this too. It had the consistency of churro-flavored beef jerky.
Oh, that sounds so much like a thing someone would make.
Yeah, the cinnamon.
I'd eat it.
I don't even like the word puff because it just
Wasn't what it was.
It wasn't a puff.
It wasn't what it was, and just puff is something that it's
Like
kind
a
of
cream puff or something?
Yeah, like a cream puff.
Yeah,
So that was the wrong term for that.
sure.
What would you call it?
Like a cinnamon pocket
Yeah.
filled with air.
There you go.
Yeah. That's all the food. 2 thumbs down. This was not a good meal. This was a very bad meal. I left a buffet still hungry. That should never happen with a buffet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I left with a stomach ache.
Oh, that's right. There was a
Yeah.
moment where both of you were like, I think I got a shit.
Yeah. And guess what? It's time to go home, folks, because I'm not going here.
Yeah.
I'm serious, too. I left with a stomach ache. It was coming on. So both thumbs down. If I had 4 thumbs, it would be 4 thumbs down. But I only have 2 thumbs down.
Eat enough Shakeys and you might grow extra appendages.
Right.
Out of principle, I should go 2 thumbs down because this pizza is just offensive.
Yeah.
But the fried chicken and the Mojo potatoes aren't bad.
To me, they're just
Like-
not enough to prop this whole thing up.
I think that's enough to take it to 1 thumb down
Yeah?
for me.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Well, those are our opinions on food. We got to put it all together and get a final score for Shakey's. But before we do, let's head to Yelp and see what other people are saying about this location of Shakey's in this week's Yelp from Strangers.
We need a little yelp, a little yelp from strangers. A 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4 or 5. So get a little yelp, a little yelp from strangers. A little yelp. Give us those complaints while you literally whine and die. Yelp!
Okay, this is Yelp from Strangers, our segment where we go to Yelp and read out our favorite 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-star reviews about the restaurant we just went to.
1-star review.
I'm going to start us off in negativity because
That's where we ate.
yeah. This is from Robert K. over 5 years ago, 1 star. Worse than high school cafeteria pizza. My wife and I ordered a medium cheese pizza and a small white pizza. Both were really bad. On the cheese pizza, the sauce was way too sweet, and the cheese, if it can really be called that, was goopy and plastic-like. The dough on the white pie was undercooked, and the same off-putting cheese was the primary ingredient. This sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
We both tried 1 slice of each and threw the rest in the garbage. That's what I literally took a bite and threw it onto my garbage plate.
Right.
Where it belongs. Hopefully the problem is this particular location and not every Shakey's. Either way, we will probably stick to Round Table from now on.
Wow. Glowing review. Let's go to Round Table instead.
I mean, it really makes the 1 star mean something when their example of good pizza is Round Table. Like, you're 1 star compared to Round Table.
That's, yeah.
It's rough.
2-star review.
Here we go. Let's move up to 2. Let's get more positive than that.
Great.
Rick P. from over 5 years ago, 2 stars. We were looking forward to a tasty, hot pizza delivered to our table. The order was simple. The wait time was a bit much, and by the time I asked, a man was bringing out our pies. Hey, that's good, right? There wasn't any steam coming off of them, and when I bit in, I was not impressed by the level of warmth.
I love the way he put that. I picture him like getting down to like eye level and just being like, I see no steam. This doesn't pass the sight test.
This pizza and my wife's was McDonald's warm. What's McDonald's warm?
I don't know, but
I
it
don't know.
clearly means something in his household.
Yeah.
There's so many people that try and get over their branded statements,
Yeah,
their comparison.
like we don't get it.
People try and take their tight 5 to Yelp pretty often.
In addition to the sauce, was there even sauce on it? Not sure. The ingredients were 2 stars.
Yeah, that
2
checks
stars.
out. And then, of course, there's an apology from Shakey's below it.
Hi, Rick. We are sorry for your experience at the Shakey's in Burbank. Shakey strives to provide the best quality food for our guests. We will be contacting the restaurant in order to address the matter.
Dang, someone's in trouble.
Dun, 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 dun.
5-star review.
I found a short one that's a 5-star. Went down on my wife. No, went down
on my wife.
yeah. Oops.
You can go download our full Yelp from Strangers segment at our Patreon. The link for that is in the description of this episode, or you can go to patreon.com/finediningpodcast. And we're now offering a 1-week free trial, so what do you have to lose? Go check it out. People have wild opinions, and we get to read oh so many of them. Thanks.
Final rating.
Okay, we've heard what people on Yelp have to say. Now we gotta put Shakey's Pizza Parlor up on the tchotchke of mediocrity, our running scoreboard of the restaurants we've visited in the form of all the wall decorations that you find at these kitschy places. You can see pictures of it on our Instagram. Zeus, you're our guest. Do you want to give Shakey's a score first?
I will give Shakey's a score first. 2.34.
Yeah? You hated it that much?
Yeah, I mean, just everything was wrong. The food was wrong. The ambiance was what I expected, which was dull.
You had a psychopath crab walking back and forth.
Crab walking. He embarrassed the shit out of me. And it was kind of disturbing that the people they didn't even care that he was crab walking.
They didn't try to protect their children from the rabid crab.
I was disturbed by that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
this is the crowd that visits Shakey's.
Yes.
They're desensitized to a lot of things.
Yes. And the arcade, that wasn't an arcade. I don't know what it was. So 2.34.
Yeah. Oof. I'm going to go just a little bit higher than you. I thought it was bad, but when I'm looking at like my worst ratings and stuff, like I don't think this was worse than Medieval Times was for us. I'm going to go a little bit higher, and I think the nostalgia of it kind of feeling like a Pizza Hut gives a little boost. The manager being really nice gives it a little boost. I'm going to go 3.13.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go even higher.
Wow, generous Garrett.
Wow.
This entire Shakey's buffet experience can be summed up in the phrase, oh, well, I'm here and it's convenient. I might as well eat it. Don't want your kids messing up your own dining room? Go to Shakey's and let those little gremlins dirty the floor there. They're too young to know that this is barely fit for human consumption, and you're too exhausted to go elsewhere. Oh, well, I'm here and it's convenient. I might as well eat it.
Well,
Lacking the time to fully commit to binge eating your feelings away on your lunch break?
Oh, God.
Well, there's a Shakey's right down the road for that. They'll fill that empty pit in your stomach with a whole different kind of emptiness. Oh, well, I'm here and it's convenient. I might as well eat it.
Great.
So
that's
not even mediocre, 3.89, but hey, oh well, I'm here and it's convenient. I might as well eat it.
It's almost like I can tell you've taken all those poetry classes, Garrett. That was a work of art.
he took him serious.
Okay, well, that means Shakey's Pizza Parlor going up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at 3.12.
Woo.
Less than mediocre, not quite as good as Applebee's.
All right, well, what that means is Shakey's is not mediocre. It is not in the zone of mediocrity. It is not in that 4 to 6 range, which means that at our next place, I'm going to get punished a little bit. I don't have to crab walk because that's not going to be in there again. But because this was not mediocre enough...
Not mediocre enough. Draw from the bowl. The You Must Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I have to draw from the You Must Bowl to figure out what I'm doing at our next place.
Oh, this is going to be good, I hope.
Remember Cheddar's where you had to communicate in rhyme with the waiter?
Yeah, that was a complete disaster.
Super cringe, right?
Yeah.
I have to place my order in song.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's what you get.
Oh, I hate that so
Yeah.
much. I hate that. Okay. Well, we need to figure out where we're going to go, where I'm going to do this. So we need to play a little game to figure that out. We need to play
The Headline Game.
The rules of the headline game are as follows. Michael will present 3 headlines to Garrett that include this week's restaurant. They can be made up or they can be actual headlines. If Garrett can correctly guess if at least 2 out of 3 are real or fake, he will get to select next week's restaurant. However, if Michael stumps him, he'll select again. Are you ready to play, fellas?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so this is a 3-person headline game, which means I have prepared headlines. Garrett and Zeus, you're both going to be guessing true or false. These are all headlines about Shakeys. You have to figure out, did I make them up or are they real headlines?
All right.
Whichever one of you gets more correct gets to pick where we go next time. If neither of you get even 2 correct, then I get to pick. Let's do this.
Yeah.
First headline. Shakey's Pizza bets on 2022 Christmas holidays to lift sales past pre-pandemic levels.
False.
You say false?
I'm going to go true. They need all the help they can get.
Okay. Headline number 2. Police help reunite teen found alone at Shakey's Pizza in Riverside with family.
I already know that Shakey's is meant for child athletics.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going true.
You're going true?
I'm going to go false again.
All right. Shakey's issues statement after plastic in pizza incident.
True for me.
True from Zeus?
False. They're not going to say anything about it. A manager's just going to quickly grab it and hide it.
All right. So you guys are different on all 3 of your answers, which means definitively one of y'all won. Headline number 1. Shakey's Pizza bets on 2022 Christmas holidays to lift sales past pre-pandemic levels. Zeus, you said false. Garrett, you said true. That is in fact true.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I figured a mundane one might be too boring that you would both say false to it, but I did not stump Garrett. Second one. Police help reunite teen found alone at Shakey's Pizza in Riverside with family. Zeus, you said false. Garrett, you said true. Garrett, once again, you are correct. 2 for 2. And last one. Shakey's issues statement after plastic and pizza incident. Garrett, you said false. Zeus, you said true. Zeus, you're right on this one. They actually did speak up about it.
Really? And that was the best one.
Yeah. So, Garrett, you got 2 out of 3 correct. You get to pick where we eat next time. You get to pick where I have to sing my order. Where's that gonna be?
We're heading up to the Bay Area next time.
Okay.
There's one restaurant that's up there that we didn't get a chance to eat at while it had a location in LA.
Oh, okay. What is it?
You're going to have to order all of your food in song at the Stinking Rose.
No! That's like kind of upscale. No!
It makes it even better.
First I have to wear a Pokemon card suit to Mastro's, and now I have to serenade our waiter. I hate that. But I am excited about the Stinking Rose. It's literally not a chain anymore. It was with just 2 locations, but it was a very famous spot where like everything had garlic in it. They have garlic ice cream on the menu.
Garlic ice cream. Wow.
Yeah. So I've never been. I'm excited for that pick. You must bowl be damned. Well, all right. Thanks everyone for listening to the Fine Dining Podcast. Thank you, Zeus, for coming on and joining us again.
Yeah, thank you, Zeus, for putting up with us more than anything else. Like, you're a man of grace for sitting at a table with this crabomination.
Yeah, Michael owes me pretty big on this one.
I don't think I do.
But but thanks for having me on. This is fun.
Is there anything you want to plug? I'm
good. No, porn or anything coming up. So
yet.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Well, we did not find the most mediocre restaurant in America. The search does need to keep going. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next time.
Have a fine day.
The search continues. We still need the perfect 5. The search continues. like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The mother effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on. Follow us on TikTok, the same on Instagram, all the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on. And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next. Okay, we're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week.
Hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.